my career and my life. There's a lot.
In a stunning announcement that has left the WWE Universe buzzing with anticipation, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief and undisputed WWE Universal Champion, is set to face the monstrous Bronson Reed in a no-holds-barred street fight at Crown Jewel 2025. The match is being billed as one of the most brutal showdowns in the event's history, promising pure chaos, destruction, and perhaps the biggest test of Roman's dominance in years. The challenge that shook the island of relevancy. For nearly 4 years, Roman Reigns has ruled over WWE with an iron fist. Since aligning himself with Paul Heyman and leading the Bloodline to historic success, Reigns has beaten nearly every challenger thrown his way, from legends like John Cena and Brock Lesnar to rising stars such as Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. Every opponent who stepped up found themselves crushed beneath the weight of the Tribal Chief's legacy. But in recent months, cracks have begun to show. With Jimmy and Jey Uso on separate paths, Solo Sikoa's loyalty under question, and whispers that Reigns may be losing control of his empire, the once untouchable leader suddenly appears vulnerable. And that's exactly when Bronson Reed decided to strike. The 330-pound Australian powerhouse, known as the Aussie Juggernaut, has been wreaking havoc across Raw and SmackDown, dismantling anyone who stands in his way. After weeks of destruction, Reed made a bold move on SmackDown, storming into Reigns' island of relevancy during a segment with Paul Heyman and attacking the Tribal Chief without warning. The assault left Roman dazed, sprawled across the announce table as Reed stood tall, declaring, "I don't bow to kings, I break them." It was a declaration of war, and WWE officials wasted no time turning this tension into an official showdown for Crown Jewel 2025. A street fight where there are no rules, no countouts, and no disqualifications. Roman Reigns, a reign built on dominance. Since returning to WWE in 2020 with a new attitude and alliance with Heyman, Roman Reigns has transformed from fan-favorite hero to the most dominant villain of the modern era. His run as champion is the stuff of legend. Multiple WrestleMania main events, historic rivalries, and a near-mythical aura of superiority. But every empire eventually faces rebellion. In the build-up to Crown Jewel, Roman has appeared more volatile than ever. His promos have been filled with anger and defiance, targeting Reed as an outsider trying to profit off the Bloodline's fame. He's accused Reed of disrespecting the hierarchy of WWE and vowed to humble him in the most violent way possible. Bronson Reed thinks he's a monster. But monsters fall when they step to a god, Reigns declared during a fiery SmackDown segment. This isn't his world. This is my island, and I decide who survives. Bronson Reed, the unstoppable juggernaut. For those unfamiliar with Bronson Reed's journey, his rise to the top has been nothing short of remarkable. After dominating NXT, where he captured the North American Championship, Reed's initial main roster run was short-lived. But in 2023, he made a shocking return, bigger, stronger, and more focused than ever before. No longer the underdog, Reed carved a path of destruction through WWE's biggest names, defeating stars like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and even Bobby Lashley in displays of raw, unrelenting power. His combination of brute strength, agility, and fearlessness has made him one of the most dangerous competitors on the roster. When Reed set his sights on Roman Reigns, many assumed he was biting off more than he could chew. But after flattening Solo Sikoa with a tsunami splash and powerbombing Reigns through a table 2 weeks later, it became clear Reed is not intimidated. Roman calls himself the Tribal Chief, Reed said during a backstage interview. Well, in my tribe, we don't kneel. We destroy the street fight stipulation, Chaos Unleashed. The decision to make the match a street fight adds a whole new layer of danger. In this environment, there are no rules. Anything goes. Tables, chairs, steel steps, and even the steel barricades are all legal weapons. There's no disqualification, no interference ban, and no safe escape. For Roman, who has often relied on the cunning tactics of the Bloodline to maintain control, the stipulation might play to his advantage, allowing Solo Sikoa or even a returning Jimmy Uso to lend a hand. But Bronson Reed thrives in chaos. His entire wrestling style is built around destruction and improvisation, making him a nightmare opponent in this type of match. WWE insiders are already calling this bout a potential Match of the Year candidate, one that could redefine both men's careers. The Crown Jewel stage, where legends are tested. WWE Crown Jewel, held annually in Saudi Arabia, has become synonymous with larger-than-life matches and blockbuster moments. From Brock Lesnar's return to The Undertaker's final battles, the event has produced some of the most unforgettable chapters in wrestling history. This year's Crown Jewel is shaping up to be no different. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed has all the ingredients for an instant classic. Two dominant forces, no rules, and a crowd of tens of thousands ready to witness carnage. The Saudi audience, known for their passion and energy, will be the perfect backdrop for this high-stakes war. The match isn't just about pride, it's about legacy. For Roman, it's about proving that his reign is still absolute. For Reed, it's about taking that next step toward immortality. Predictions. Can the tribal chief survive the juggernaut? WWE analysts are divided. Some believe that Roman Reigns' experience, intelligence, and championship pedigree will allow him to outsmart the unpredictable Reed. Others argue that Reed's sheer power and lack of fear will finally expose the cracks in Roman's empire. A key factor could be the state of the bloodline. With Solo Sikoa showing signs of independence and Jimmy Uso pursuing his own ambitions, Reigns might enter this fight without his usual backup. That could make him dangerously vulnerable in a no-rules environment. Meanwhile, Reed has hinted at bringing reinforcements of his own, possibly allies from his NXT days, or even a new faction forming under his leadership. If that happens, Crown Jewel could turn into an all-out war zone.